Timbersaw instead. I mean, you're playing against two strength heroes here.
Yeah, and it's an Oscar classic. I mean, it's one of his favorite heroes, so it makes a lot of sense that we're going to be seeing the Timbersaw in that regard. It's also something I'm just surprised to see in general, since his earlier levels got nerfed pretty hard in both Timber Chain and Whirling Death. And both
Mhm.
of these abilities are like kind of what gives Timbersaw a lot of strength in lane. Like he's not going to be able to put on as much pressure as he used to. And immediately we see the Slark pick, who does less damage to himself in the form of Dark Pack. So it's actually a lot easier to lane the Slark into the Timbersaw because he does have a decent amount of magic damage, which is something Timbersaw struggles with, and he doesn't have to worry as much about getting bursted down these early few levels. So I like this pick a lot, and I think with the Omni Knight it pairs really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same sort of deal as picking up something like the Ursa Slock doesn't mind playing against Timbersaw, Tidehunter heroes that normally stand their ground against you. You can't build up your reactive armor charges against the Slock. You're just going to get more agility, you're going to lose more strength, and you're going to get popped. So, strong pickup to start here on four Zoomers. Now, see what they follow up with here.
Do you think we're going
Oh,
to see like the Tinker at all picked up here for four Zoomers? Like I know it's definitely a hero Gunner can play. I think having both the barrier and heavenly grace on heroes is ridiculous right now. So it's possible we could see something like that, but against the Nyx assassin, it might be a little too risque.
yeah. Uh, I feel like Tinker is kind of a bold move here. The Nick Assassin, pretty easy for him to get on top. It's a little bit harder now that he doesn't have much of the machines. As long as you're somewhat careful with your rockets, you're gonna be able to
Skywrath
survive. But they pick up
Mage.
Skywrath Mage, who's also not amazing against the Nyx Assassin.
It's
Is
a
probably gonna be played in position four, but position four, but you're kind of lacking disables here.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a Z Freak hero. I think we'll come back to that in a moment. All right, Naga Siren. I would say it's definitely a Z Freak hero, and the thing is that makes it nice is you do have Roar into the Scarth Mage's just whole kit being so much burst, the Mystic Flare, Concussive Blast, of
Mhm.
course, the Ancient Seal as well. I mean, there is a lot of damage that you can follow up Roar with now, but you just got to be careful because, like you said, they don't have a lot of lockdown. So other than that, you're gonna have to pick something up from Gunner here in the mid lane that might be able to solve that problem. I mean, there's still Puck. A hero did get nerfed pretty heavily though.
Yep, taking away his initial stun among a couple other things. Not as much phase shift time. These things can really add up. But yeah, a couple of heroes that are still in the pool that give you that lockdown and catch. And abandoning out Ember Spirit instead here.
That was a good
Not
pick.
what I Yeah, not what I would have expected. The things that came to the forefront of my mind were things like Kunkka, Dragon Knight, and uh, like you mentioned just now.
The Puck.
Yeah, the fuck. Like you mentioned just now, the fuck.
I think the
There's
Ember makes a
the
lot of sense. It's pretty good against the Naga Siren, and they don't have any illusion clear right now, so you kind of need to pick a hero that does that. And so yeah, they get rid of the Ember, they get rid of the Lesh. They want to pick up the Void Spirit. So hero got buffed slightly. I don't think this is enough illusion clear, actually, for the side of four Zoomers, but if they can come online pretty early, as Void Spirit does, as well as Slark, he only needs a couple items, they may be able to outpace the Naga Siren here.
yeah. I am not sure what no ping respond to with here. I think that it would have been kind of good to grab the Void Spirit themselves. They could grab the Storm on their side. They need something to get on the Omni Knight, right?
Yeah, they do, but it's not easy because you're against a Scarth Mage, and that instant silence is so rough. Like he's gonna get
Mhm.
an Atos, you're gonna get silenced, and if you jump the Omni or you jump the Skywrath, one's gonna get saved, and or he's gonna die.
Yeah, Beastmaster, you're going to be the primary target for a roar as well, and you don't have any dispel to get that off of you. Even if you end up getting a BKB, it's possible you just get blown up. So I could probably rush an Abyssal Blade in that case. So not a ton of options here, but you need a way to jump the backline and get on top of this Omni Knight and the Skywrath Mage somehow, and you don't really have the heroes for it just yet. Like maybe the Nyx Assassin can jump onto the backline, but you need something to follow that up and do a little bit more damage.
They could rely on Song setup. That's one thing. Like they could definitely use Song to set up and just pick more of a follow up to that instead as their way of trying to burst down these heroes. So if Naga Siren ends up going for like a Blink Dagger eventually, you do have that potential for like a Song into Blink. But I think NoPing probably going to go to something comfort here. All right, just a tanky frontliner.
Gonna go
And that's the
Vito.
hero that will help make space for the Naga Siren, right? We were talking like if Zoomers are able to outpace them, it'll be pretty rough for Angel here, but Bristleback fixes that problem.
Yeah, definitely want to be taking this into the late game. Timbersaw struggled a little bit more securing that early game than before. At least that's my theory, given the fact that his Timber Chain and whatnot, his nerf, he's not going to do as well in lane as he used to. I don't mind the Bristleback pickup here, but I feel like the lack of lockdown means it's going to be pretty difficult to get your hands on Gunner's Void Spirit here, and I'm a little bit worried about the amount of push that's going to come out from Beastmaster.
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty stoked on this game. I think like overall, it can kind of go one way or the other. I think a lot of it's going to come down to Envy's farm and Angel's farm, right? If Envy has an amazing start and pops off this game, I don't think there's anything Angel can do on this Nagashrine that's going to stop him. Dark Mago and Oscar are just going to be agility batteries for the Slark, and now he has talents that just make Essence Shift that much better. So we'll see how it goes here. Super excited for today. I mean, we are into the final day here on Loot Bet Pro Series Season 7. It is NoPing versus 4 Zoomers to start things off, man. This is perfect.
Yeah, nothing quite like a NASA showdown. Again, I'm surprised that 4 Zoomers made it this far, given the beating that South America has been given NA recently, but I am happy to see it. Oscar actually had a chance to talk to him in the lobby before the game. He said he'd rather be at the beach today than playing. I'm glad he didn't end up ditching his team to go, though.
Yeah, that would have been a rough one. I don't think you can afford to just not show up, but maybe it's a really nice beach day. You never know.
I'm sure it is. I'm just thinking about it. We going to the beach at some point, Ricky?
Yeah, dude. Anytime.
Nice.
Anytime.
Yeah, maybe after finals are over.
Could use ourselves a nice little vacation, I think.
Yeah, good. I know you've been working hard recently. But, let's get this show on the road. Unfortunately, we might see some action here, but nobody seeming to want to invade to the opposite side of the river, so not too much aggression yet. Z-Freak hasn't put any points into any of his abilities yet. Previously, used to put your first point into concussive shot, just so you'd have ability to trade, slow people down, click them down, take advantage of your extra movement speed. But they buffed the base damage of Arcane Bolt by 15 here, so
Yeah.
it does a little bit more if you spam this one out. On the other hand, they did increase the slow by 10%, but I think you might want to get first point Arcane Bolt now. I think it does just a little bit more harass, more value than it was before. I'm still not sold on Skywrath Mage. I feel like it falls off super hard, and you get pretty heavily punished by anybody who's able to jump on top of you, especially as the game goes on. But if anybody's able to make it work, it will be Z-Freak.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is, like I said, kind of like a Z-Freak hero. This is something that he loves to play. As we've seen previously, Z-Freak can be a super greedy 4 position, and that definitely benefits heroes like Skywrath Mage who want to get a ATOS. I mean, we saw him build literally 4 null tallies on Keeper of the Light before it was cool, by the way. All you EU players out there who are joining us thinking, this was an EU style build suddenly.
Wrong.
Z-Freak did it first last patch in the 4 position Keeper of the Light. You're welcome.
Yeah. Also like to remind you that Jungle Coddle is an FDL special.
Yep, indeed.
Hope we get the show back on the road soon, though. But yeah, Z-Freak, very greedy position number 4. He's not afraid to take kills or grab a little bit farm for a while. I think he's probably just going to rush like 2 Null Talisman on his Skywrath Mage, in fact, to do harass to people. It is going to be kind of important to get an Atos on top of your Arcane Seal to lock down this Luna. That's something that they are seriously lacking here on the Zoomers. They've got like Primal Roar, they've got Aether Remnant, but that's basically it for this like hard lockdown stun. You're gonna need a little bit more to deal with these heroes, and Naga Siren is going to be a massive problem if you end up letting this one go late and don't have any answers for her. A lot is on I guess Z-Freak's shoulders to do a bunch of damage to these enemies, and Moo's ability to push, get his Helm of the Overlord as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think Zoomers, they have a lot of answers to the heroes on NoPing. I think the Naga Siren is the one you have to be a little bit concerned about, just because they don't have a lot of illusion clear, and so their main priority is just going to be identifying the real one and trying to burst her down.
I'm concerned for them if this one goes light. I don't think I mentioned which team I prefer this one. It's definitely NoPing, by the way. I'm not sure how
Really?
you're feeling though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm on four Zoomers. I think this Slark pick is too good. I'm worried about this like mid lane bristle. I think overall it's gonna like make some space, but with the Essence Shift talents for Slark now, I think this is way too good of a Slark game.
Yeah. One interesting point that one of my friends made ages ago about the Slark pick is that when people haven't figured out the new patch and they're kind of still experimenting a little bit, that's when Slark feels like he's best. And I think we're at that stage inside the patch still, and that might be the logic that Eternal Envy is falling back on. It's just it's a good hero when you don't know what's good yet.
I guess that makes a lot of sense. I think overall, when you're against a Timbersaw who got his level 1 kind of neutered, you got to feel pretty happy about playing the Slark here.
Mm-hmm. Right off the bat, he's going to try to trade with Oscar. The first point went into Heavenly Grace, so he just clicks people down a couple of times with that Essence Shift. Oscar, I mean, 30 less pure damage on each Timber Chain. It really ends up adding up.
Absolutely.
There's a lot less harass than there used to be.
And it's pure damage, right? So like though that harassment is, I mean, just level 1, like 100 health by the time you get those 3 to 4 Timber Chains off.
Yep.
Something to point out, Moo actually going for axes on the Beastmaster right now. This is not something we see all that often, but against the Naga Siren, you probably don't have a choice, so she'll just run the illusions at your boar. And having those axes will obviously help identify the correct Naga Siren. So that actually works out pretty well. I mean, we've seen Beastmasters of late just go 0-4-4. Like, they just completely skip the ability altogether. So this is the first time, I think, in a bit, we're actually seeing someone grab a point in it.
Yeah. And like you said, it does end up stacking, adding up here. Not having the boar punished, giving Angel this extra farm. Speaking of, Angel tried to take advantage of that, but Z-Freak immediately countered with a concussive shot, and Angel just getting run down.
Yeah, he's got axes in 1. It's not going to be enough to finish the kill, and Pandaboo will be able to back off. Give that salve on over the Naga Siren. Moo, does he have regen? He's just got 3 tangos and that ring, so you have to be a little careful there. Did his salve get canceled?
Yes.
Yikes.
That was a pretty sick play there by Z-Freak, though, holding the concussive shot for when Angel ends up popping that mirror image.
It is a
them all
good
at
amount
the
of
same
burst
time.
damage, yeah.
Yeah, because all your damage in the early game is going to come out just from popping that mirror image, getting on top of people with that Riptide. So shutting that down immediately on Z-Freak is going to make Angel's lane a little bit harder.
So far right now, I mean, Dark Mago is just crushing CS on this mid lane Bristleback. I'm not sure if he... it looks like he cleaned up the easy camp on the side of Gunner's mid lane, so that might be why. Hopefully, for Gunner's sake, it wasn't stacked. We'll see, though. He has a lot of CS, though, on the Bristle. He's having a great time.
Yep.
And unfortunately...
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot you can do to rotate at this point. I mean, Omni Knight is not going to be able to do anything. I mean, Purification, Heavenly Grace, you can't do anything to the Bristleback with that. If you're going to do a rotation, it needs to be Z-Freak on the Skywrath Mage, who at the moment isn't going to be able to do too much if you just turn your back to him on Gunner. You just fill up his Magic Stick charges. He doesn't have Magic Stick yet on Dark Mage, which is a little bit surprising. It is very valuable this game.
Against Dark Mago, you mean?
Dark Mago either.
Oh.
It's pretty value in this game. He's playing against Gunner, who's going to be spamming skills to secure CS.
So he, yeah, he needed to make sure to deny that bounty, so that's actually really smart. All right.
My path leads to riches.
Overall, top lane, not playing in the lane. We're having some jungle shenanigans here, thanks to the creep dragging. Envy tanking a stun. He'll be fine, though.
Yeah, just walk away. Only level 3 right now on Oscar.
Whoa. Oh, no! Well, bottom lane, first blood ends up going the way of NoPing as they manage to find the kill there on Moo. I was watching mid as Dark Mago just like dove the tower to Quill Spray his courier.
Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do about that one, especially as kill was happening in the other lane at the exact same time. Can't TP him in to assist or try to punish him. Ended up going down there on Moo. Angel's sitting at pretty low HP at the moment, though, so Winter Wyvern gonna walk all the way back to base. He's got 2 salve with him, so he can drop one of these on Angel as he comes back. Weird positioning out of Matthew, by the way. I don't think they'll be able to do anything to punish him, though. Again, no point in the degen aura and Eternal Envy, no Orb of Venom, so Matthew just be able to walk out of this one.
I'm super surprised there's no Orb of Venom in this lane on either Husky or Eternal Envy. Right? Like, it seems like these guys would want to be able to play super aggressive.
Radiant's courier has been slain in cold blood.
Panaboo not going to hand him off his boots? There
Yeah,
we
they
go.
got him. I was thinking the same thing.
Took him a moment, though. Oh, Angel heals back up. Z-Freak going through a lot of his mana at the moment. Just has 1 mango left. I mean,
Radiant structures
there's your second null talisman on Z-Freak. We talked about that. This guy's just going to play greedy and aggressive as possible.
It's a lot of damage from the Skywrath Mage, so if he's able to like assist with these kills, and then obviously once he hits level 6, he has a lot of options there. It's going to be pretty important.
Mid lane, Gunner trying to find Matthew here. Just get out the rune, the invis.
Nice remnant
Gunner ends
drop.
up scaring.
He
Yeah.
should be able to kill Matthew for this. He's got a spike carapace. It will keep him alive for a moment, but it's not going to be enough. He actually pops a salve last second going down there, so a nice kill on the mid lane there from Gunner. I mean, the remnant just set that up completely. That was really nice.
Yep. He's done that twice now. The pull duration is increased at all levels, and mana cost was reduced as well, but I do feel like Void Spirit needed some buffs. He was like the weakest of the Spirit Brothers in the last patch. People had sort of figured him out.
And that's saying something because Earth Spirit was hardly even getting played either.
Yeah. The Spirit ended up getting some changes himself. I don't like how they took his armor talent away. They did to a lot of strength heroes, but they did end up giving him faster recharge time on his stones. So we might see some more Earth Spirit play, but not in this game. I hate to see my my favorite boy just not picked up. He used to be picked up almost every match.
Yeah, you know, the days of Omni Knight are here, and the days of Earth Spirit are over.
What can you do? Dark Mago gets to farm. The enemy creep camp's basically uncontested right now. Again, nobody who's able to rotate and punish him. He's got a Hooded Defiance as his first item too. I mean, eventually Eternal Envy will be able to put the hurt onto the Bristleback, but for now...
Oh my god! 8 axe stacks on Nagas Iron. He just got healed up completely, and Moon nearly sniped him for all of his HP.
Yeah, he might... Alright, never mind. He's going to be fine.
They're gonna
he's
dive
hunting
here
for
looking for
anyone in the
Panda
street.
Boo, and he's got him. I mean, Moo, 3 points in the axes in this lane. We were talking about, you know, maybe he just has a casual point to clear the illusions. He's just all in on it, Neff. He may have given first blood, but this dude's back with a vengeance.
I mean, hey, it's working for sure. You can dispel the Axis stacks by popping the mirror image, but as soon as you use that, Moon's putting the hurt on you. He's got Soul Ring and Trank Boots as his first items as well, and Basilius Raindrops. So his mana regen is absolutely massive.
Yeah. He needs it, right? He's just spamming in this lane. It's actually working out really well for him. Tranquils as well, right? Like, he just wants to sit back and nuke these heroes in the lane. Doesn't actually want to get up onto the Nagas Iron and contester. And now that Roar is online, you do have to be very careful with the poor bird. Throws it right into the chakram. Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, the Naga Siren doesn't want to lane against the Beastmaster anymore. Had enough after that last engagement. Goes up to full HP, then back down to nearly 0 after another set of axes. So
big
jungle
rotation
time,
here
baby.
onto the Bristleback. The question is, will they have the damage to actually finish him off? And he's going to be able to take down Z-Freak before he does go down here. The Roar will secure the kill, giving that kill on over to Gunner. I mean, a big commitment from 4 Zoomers, but getting the Bristleback has to be rewarding in some way.
yeah, Committing the roar isn't good. You had to rotate a couple heroes up there, but shutting down the bristleback in this early game, that's what's going to allow NoPing to kind of snowball and defend from whatever zoo lineup they plan on running. I'm surprised they're not going for that at all. Moo's first item, he's going to go completely all in on these wild axes. He's got Aghanim Scepter queued up.
Yeah. See, this is what I was talking about earlier with you, is I don't think you like have to conform to zoo meta on Beastmaster. So I think Helmet the Overlord is good. Well, Naga Siren caught in the jungle. Just sniped a beautiful ward that's just right outside this sentry. Oh no. Unlucky there for the side of NoPing. He thought he was completely safe. They've got 3 sentries here near their triangle and it's missing the ward.
Just barely.
Like 1 pixel. Like literally 1 pixel.
I wonder if he's got 2 more sentries flying out right now on Pandaboo, but he's getting gone on by Eternal Envy. Be able to dodge out with Arctic Burn, but
yeah, I think Envy was kind of just looking for wards around here too. But I want to point out, Gunner's actually going my currently favorite build on the Void Spirit. He's finished up the Mage Slayer. I think this is a very good item for this hero. I think there's a few heroes that it works really well on, but this one in particular is very strong. And now, Bristleback's second roar comes out. The damage is there, holding him. He can't turn. They take him down again.
2 deaths in a row now for Bristleback, and if it didn't slow down his game before, it will now. Oscar's been slowed down as well. His courier died with a Ring of Health on it when they invaded that triangle. And they placed another sentry ward and couldn't scout it out. They don't have that observer.
I mean, we were talking about what can happen if Slark pops off this game. Envy basically tied at the top of the net worth chart. They do manage to force out the Shadow Dance in the top lane, but he has that Echo Saber completed now.
And they'll just go right back into the jungle.
Radiant's bottom tower is in
Yeah.
danger.
Obsessed Mask going to make this even easier for him. And Oscar does have to be careful if Envy decides to quit onto him.
Radiant's
1500 HP on this Slark. It's not that easy to blow this one up. You're taking Timbersaw. Oh, he
I
just
mean,
wasted
Bristleback is just getting slapped again in the mid lane as they're trying to make this dive looking for Gunner, but Husky with these like purification spam as well as just this Mage Slayer is doing some serious work on Dark Mago. They're gonna go for it once again. There's the Mystic Flare, the Chain Stuns, he's dead. Dark Mago goes down for the 3rd time. Now Matthew chased up onto the high ground. Spike Carib is coming off cooldown in just a second. We'll be able to reflect that damage out, but I think he's not long for this world. Well, they get a sentry down. Can he survive? Looks like he will.
Yep, couldn't finish him off with that one. No dust, unfortunately, so they can't keep that chase up. And get to survive now on the Nyx Assassin. He's actually going back in, but Husky, he just played a sentry. Husky might be trying to bait him out here.
Definitely is. Oscar here on the front side as well.
Matthew, I'm not sure you're going to be able to catch this on me tonight, especially not as he goes mode pig.
Nothing like some mode pig, dude.
Yeah, but given the fact that those boars were targeting him just there, he realized that there's a sentry down. He's going to back up now.
They're just going to
Clear
do
out
ward
some
the
on the
high
side.
ground too. Really good play there.
All right, mid lane. Oscar's going to try to clear up this tier 1 tower with Dark Mago. The 2 of them are together now. Dark Mago's game has slowed down quite a bit for Zoomers. I mean, they responded to this Bristleback's aggression pretty well. I was a bit surprised. I didn't
rapping.
think they'd be able to find the kills.
They're smoked up. They want to try and punish this. They see Matthew on the side. No Vendetta available. Gunner protected by that Heavenly Grace for a little bit. The question, who's going to be the roar target this time? Z-Freak on the side. They drop it. They go for the Timbersaw. The silence is there. Forget the Bristle. Try and take down Oscar instead, but he manages to survive. Coming back the other way, Gunner continuing the chase. They've got to pick one of these guys to bring him down, but it's not going to happen. Z-Freak protected for the moment by the GA. But Oscar doing too much with this pure damage. And it doesn't look like they're gonna be able to finish them off. They do. They finally get the kill there. Those axes from Moose stacking up over time, but you lose Gunner
Neutral
as
creep.
well. Oh, it was a neutral creep. Oh, no. Well, Envy has entered the fight. A new challenger appears and it's Slark. And this is a really rough time for the Bristleback now as there's no escaping this. He has gone just too dang far. Ends up being a triple kill for Moo. And this guy is about to have an Ags neph.
Yeah. I mean, he's only 400 gold away, actually.
That's what I'm
I just
saying. He's
noticed
really
that.
close. He's 350 gold, man.
That's terrifying. I mean, it's not as good as it was when it was at its absolute height of being broken. The mana cost was increased, the damage was decreased, but at this point in the game, 14 minutes, and you're paused 3 Beastmaster? This game is not going to be easy. You've got Hooded Defiance and a couple key heroes, so you'll be able to resist a lot of the damage that he's pouring out on your Bristleback and your Timbersaw, but your Naga Siren is about to have a horrible game.
Yeah, she finished up the Manta style, but she needs a lot of stats is the issue. And, you know, we were talking in draft, like, oh, you know, Zoomers doesn't have a good way to clear out these Naga Siren illusions, and the Moo's like, hold my beer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just surprised how quickly your prediction about what would happen in this patch came online. You seem to be on the same wavelength with Moo. Just before the games when we were watching Beast Coast play the ESL games.
I you know, what can I say? I'm just an actual 5-head sometimes. No, I feel like I feel like I have a decent grasp of how this meta like was changed by the patch, but it's one of those things that I'm still getting surprised every game. I thought Mage Slayer is insane. I thought this item was way too good after the buff, and so I'm really excited to see like 2 heroes on Zoomers buy this item this game. Like we have one on Slark now. Like this item is sick.
Yep. I think it's really good on the Void Spirit, being able to get on top of people. You're hitting multiple targets with your Astral Step. It gives you an extra mana regen. When you're playing against a lot of spell damage as well, it feels quite good. It makes sense on the Void Spirit. I'm not as convinced for it on the Slark, but I guess he values the magic resistance, and if he gets on top of Timbersaw, he's significantly reducing the amount of damage output Timbersaw is doing.
Yeah, I think that's the idea, is if as long as they're hitting Bristleback and Timbersaw in these fights, like these guys are doing substantially less damage. Because when I point this, I want to make it very clear. It's considered a 35% debuff to spell damage, not magic damage. So the pure damage of Timbersaw and even the physical damage of the Bristleback is reduced by 35%, which is a huge amount in these fights. Top lane, Matthew, trying to scout out the Beastmaster. That Ags is completed. He ends up popping a Dust, finds him, and Envy, well, misses the pounce, but quickly will be able to just jump right back in there, grab that kill. And on the backside of the fight, Gunner, he's going to find Pandaboo hiding in the trees. But unfortunately for him, there are no trees left. They'll find themselves another kill. Mode Pig activated as Gunner looking for more.
He tried to turn that one around on Winter Wyvern, get the Winter's Curse off onto the Skywrath Mage there, but just unfortunately was not able to connect that one. Nagaside is still sitting at the top of the net worth regardless of all this, but I think you're going to have too many problems to deal with. Unless you can take this to like 40 plus minutes, you're not going to end up winning this on NoPing at this point, which is absolutely crazy because I saw NoPing's lineup and I'm like, all right, there's no way they lose this game. Nagaside's too good in the late game. Dark Mega is going to pop off in the early game, but he died like 3 times in a row at this like post laning game, laning stage phase. And that's just slowed down this game too much.
Now that we have a little bit of a moment, I'd like to point you to Gunner's build and see if you recognize that one anywhere.
Ah, yes, the anime build where you go multi-sword technique, just like Kirito from Sword Art Online.
Yes. Chances he goes Kaya Assange after this. I would say 100%.
Ah, yes, the quad sword build. So for anyone not familiar, this is the most anime build possible. Where you build your Bukins and then you build as many swords as possible. So Mage Slayer, Witchblade, then Kaya Assange. The 4-sword technique.
I was theory crafting this on a lot of like int cores the other day, just like in the testing lobbies. It's a really, really good set of items if you can get it. It just depends on which items or which heroes can actually take advantage of them. I think Void Spirit right now might be the best in the game, and I think this is one of the reasons that for Zoomers like picking up this hero right now is because his item build is really strong and it's easy to farm, right? All of the components for these super low cost and an easy build up. And once you have them, you are a real threat.
Yeah, absolutely. The Mage Slayer feels really good to build into because it gives you all that extra amount of resistance. It allows you to fight early on. A lot of people are talking about, all right, the fact that this thing is so cheap now, the fact that it doesn't have that awkward build where you don't want to build it on inter strength heroes because it gives you agility, has been changed up as well. I think Mage Slayer is incredibly good. Witchblade is, I think, as good as it ever was. The fact that it does the damage over a little bit slower duration of time kind of sucks, but the extra duration does slow someone for a little bit longer. So I think with a hero like Void Spirit, who's on top of somebody for 4 seconds, getting those auto attacks off, probably like one more attack if somebody's not walking away so easily, does feel a little bit better as well. So yeah, this is one of the huge benefits and why I think Void Spirit's being picked up a little bit more, not just because the buffs he received, but because all the items that he likes building, all the items that are good are also good on Void Spirit.
Yeah, I think in the last patch we saw some people in the early stages like theory crafting Echo Saber and stuff onto the Void Spirit because they're like, he needs to just tank up. And that was the biggest issue. They'd sometimes pick up an Echo Saber into the Ags and was just relying on that as their way to tank up on the Void Spirit. But now you got 4 items. Well, 4 blades, 3 items eventually that all make you tanky and all benefit your kit immensely. So this is what I really like. I'm super excited to see this build coming through, and I think we're going to be seeing a few more of these like int cores that can take advantage of it. Also, neph, I'm calling it now. Undying 1 or 2 is going to be hitting this patch at some point. I think people are going to realize this hero is very strong.
Tower is in danger.
With his ultimate, right?
I think his ultimate and shard, he farms pretty fast nowadays with the correct item build, and I think we're going to be seeing like 1 or potentially 2 position undying, like 2, like I think 1 or 3, but I think core undying is definitely the strongest role for this hero at this point.
Yeah, the level 10 with the 50 extra decay damage allows you to clear out creep waves pretty quickly as well because it does double damage to creeps.
And
so you actually do 100 extra damage with that decay.
Quick little D1 there. Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's that and the fact that his, Flesh Golem is just absurd. And if he can get a couple farming items, this hero's strong.
Yep.
All right. Move with the Ags online, just continuing to farm here on the Beastmaster. Oscar and Dark Mago falling off just a little bit, but overall the net worth lead not that bad here for the side of the Zoomers. Only 3,000, definitely not that big of a deal since you have the Naga Siren.
No. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but then you also have to keep in mind that all of your net worth is just falling onto this one hero. And if they can manage to blow this hero up, which they do have the tools for with Roar and Skywrath Mage Ultimate, then you're going to start to have a couple of problems.
Well, Gunner queues up the Kaya Sanj, has a DD rune, looking mid lane.
It's happening. The anime build.
You love to see it.
Yeah. Do you like that Matthew's starting to max out the mana burn now? He realizes he's probably not going to be able to take these fights into these enemy heroes, so at the very least he's going to be able to slow down their aggression by burning out their mana.
All right, the grenade there gets dropped. I'm not entirely sure if someone like really wants this. Nope, Matthew ends up getting caught by a roar here, and just a quick pickup for the side of the Zoomers. And this hero, a huge nuisance when it comes to being able to take the towers, so they might end up backing off on the side of NoPing. No roar, but Andabu just gets jumped, and now the Wyvern's dead. Backside of the fight, Moo gets caught by the Timbersaw, but the saves again from Husky on this Omni Knight. Pounce holding the Timbersaw. They force the song out. The disengage is there. Oh no, Oscar DC'd.
I'm pretty sure that Remnant is going to connect with him, and there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do about it.
No, he already committed the Lotus. And that's gonna, yeah, he's just gonna get Mystic Flared off of this. Oh no, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, it's lined up perfectly. He can't turn around in time. The moment he turns, this thing is going to connect. It's just going to come out too slowly. And this song is harming, like, yes, it's amazing for disengaging, but you weren't able to reset the fight in such a way you're able to take anything into these 4 Zoomer heroes. I mean, he's Song of the Siren for what? To disengage and probably still lose Oscar regardless of it?
I mean, yeah, this this is pretty rough. This is like not the best situation to be in here. Like, if you maybe 4 Zoomers will be like, all right, we'll respect the DC and not kill you, but Envy
No.
is mode tower kill. Envy's definitely mode tower kill right now.
Well, we might turn it around and see. Oh, some bonus agility. Don't mind if I do. In fact, yeah, he's turning.
Oh, Envy.
The quest for
Yep, there it is. Exactly as we expected. The question is, can he get away? No. Just gets bursted. TPing back in here on the Nyx Assassin, holding Husky in place, but he's got this Heavenly Grace over and over again. They're gonna turn around. Guardian Angel keeping them in down, and now Dark Vago trying to hop away, but he can't. Goes down again. Moo on this Beastmaster is just a fiend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where to go from this one. They're just getting completely ripped apart in these team fights. Naga Siren is a very long time from coming online. She's only got 1,200 gold towards this heart. Even if she has it, I don't think they have the damage to take these 4 Zoomer heroes.
Okay, gets the Manta off. He's fine. Matthew does grab Z-Freak here in the mid lane. Nice kill for him. Gunner now out of mana. Nice illusion rune. But, I mean, did you see the damage Moo doing this last fight? He did almost 3,000 damage on the Beastmaster. He's like doubling or tripling every other hero.
It's only gonna get worse once he gets the Kaya Sanj completed.
Oh, nice
Nyx
force
Assassin,
stab.
oh, managed to get over the high ground there. Very lucky.
Yeah, you never want to fight someone on the high ground.
You know, don't want to get stuck up there.
I was trying to make a Star Wars reference, but it's fine.
Oh, no. I was trying to make an NA Dota reference.
They're both equally great.
It's one of our specialties. We're known around the world for that one.
Yeah.
All right. Eternal Envy pops the Shadow Blade. He's going to look for something. I mean, he's not as eager to go on Dark Mago prior to this turning into a Silver Edge, but
He's
Dark
getting
Mago
close
thinks
to
he
it.
can run forward. Yeah, he is.
So they know that there's a sentry in the mid lane, right? Envy was scouted with the Shadow Blade, so they know that there's something there, which is why they're not getting too aggressive. But a 5k gold lead now for the side of the Zoomers. And I mean, they're starting to just kind of hit their stride. And like you said, once Envy finishes up this Silver Edge, it's got to feel super good. Looking for Oscar. Also sees Dark Mago. The question is, who's going to go for? The answer is neither. Well, Gunner finds a DD rune, comes in on the backside. They're going to see Pandaboo. He's going to be forced to drop that Winter's Curse, but Gunner's just zoning them out, and now Envy going to be able to help chase down that Wyvern. And with Gunner getting the saves here from Husky, he really wants these heroes, but just too far away.
Matthew, I think he thought about going into that Revenant with the Spike Carapace, but his team just isn't able to take these.
Nah, you
Naga
just
Siren's
die.
Yeah, I guess I'm continuing to farm up on the opposite side of the map, so you are getting your space, you're getting closer towards that heart. Reaver is completed right now. You need another about 1,400 gold to complete this one. Then you're tanky enough to survive these ganks from 4 Zoomers, but I don't think you can take the fights in them. They're looking to close this game out before that happens. Now, over to Roshan. Take the Aegis.
I just watched Moo get to 20 stacks on the axes, and they did 900 damage to Roche.
Very cool.
Sick. He is going to go ahead and sell these Tranquil Boots for Boots of Travel here as his next item. I think this makes a lot of sense. Not really necessary anymore. He needs to be able to just be very mobile. TPing into his Hawk and Boar is super strong. Now they ask you to find Bristleback in the mid lane. The roar gets reflected. He's able to turn his back for a moment, and it might have been enough to save his life. Now Envy knows there's a sentry here. Does have that Silver Edge completed. Looking for Matthew. Is going to be able to jump him. Gets the kill. Just 3 quick auto attacks. This man doing some serious damage.
Yeah, he opts to get back as if he continues to push forward. Sees that the bottom lane is being shoved in, and
He immediately
maybe
Shadow Blades. He wants to find the real Angel here and prevent this TP.
Yep,
He sees him.
gets
Oh,
vision of him
he
as
gets
well.
the TP cancel. Envy right on top of Angel, and with the mana burns, he's trying to get the song. He does 1 auto attack away, but he's running into 3 other heroes here on the side of 4 Zoomers, and there is not much hope here for the side of Angel. Pandaboo with the Winter's Curse might be able to save him, but it's just a little bit too late. And now Envy and Gunner looking for more. If they can find the Wyvern, he's so integral to their high ground defense. I think they're just going to die. They get the vision, they go. Envy on the backside with the wraparound double kill, going the way of the Void Spirit.
And Moo already working on pushing this creep wave into the mid lane, so they'll be able to take this tier 2 tower, not wasting any time. They realize bottom lane shoved in, made a rotation down here. It'll be too slow to go back for that one. At least I thought that's what they were doing. He might just be clearing up the ancient stack on his way back mid. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. So they waste absolutely no time. And they're cutting the creep wave to the bottom lane pushes in as well. They need to take care of these tier 2 towers before they can go high ground. Again, even though you're up this much on 4 Zoomers, you know that you can't take this late against the Naga Siren.
Envy just being a massive nuisance here to these heroes. On the backside, they catch Nyx Assassin once again. He was trying to go for a D ward, I guess, but Envy just playing so aggressive behind their tower with this Silver Edge, constantly trying to find these heroes and just stealing more and more agility from this Timbersaw.
Envy gets controlled. He doesn't even bother dark packing this net off. Instead, just sits where he is. They're going to take this mid tower, and I imagine they're going to turn their eyes either bottom or top after this. Bottom a little bit more shoved in, so that's where I would go. Angel is doing a good job of keeping these creep waves shoved with the illusions, but too much of a net worth disadvantage, and it is all on your Naga Siren.
I'm not really sure what you can do here. This was my big worry for the Timbersaw and the Bristleback, is that they were just gonna fall off here in this mid-late game. And with Envy, I mean, really all the cores here on the side of 4 Zoomers so farmed. It makes it that much more difficult. They do see Dark Mago here. They don't know the rest of the team is actually smoked up in front of them, but they want to go in. Gunner jumps the backside, able to pull in the Bristleback. The burst damage isn't there, gets purged by the Lotus Orb. Dark Mago makes it out for a second with the rest of the team rotating in. They might think wise. No, Roar comes out. Envy just laying into the Bristleback. He's gonna have to pop the Shadow Dance. There's gonna be the Song of the Siren, but you lost the Nyx. He buys back into the game. Angel debating on re-engaging. They still have Winter's Curse available. They drop it right on the Beastmaster. The Guardian Angel! It's enough! Moose saves! Well, no, he's not saved. Oscar gets the snipe, finds on the backside. They're looking for Angel, though. Pounce off the mark. Oscar takes down Z-Freak as well. The big kill is the Naga, but that doesn't look like they're going to be able to find it. They lose Omni. Now Envy, the one on the run, just getting chased. He's dead. They overextend a little bit too far and get heavily punished here on the side of Zoomers, and Gunner can't make it away here from the Bristle, I don't think. Can he? DP, the attempt. No, the snipe by Matthew, the high ground ward. They're scouting him out. The impale right on the mark, and that is going to be a 5 for 2.
They end up clearing everybody. Envy's initiation was just too late. I mean, there's this old saying that you initiate on the Bristleback, you lose the team fight. That's exactly what they did, and they did it without the Silver Edge on Envy. Is walking on the outskirts of that team fight. If you look at this fight recap, all the damage was done by Gunner. They managed to blow up Moon, keep him out of the fight as well. They weren't able to do anything here on the 4 Zoomers heroes. It was just Gunner pumping out damage in this team fight, and they got the perfect Song of the Siren song off. They managed to reset the fight as well one of the times with that Winter Wyvern's Winter's Curse. And 4 Zoomers just
Roar bottom lane. They're gonna just turn it around though, take down the Bristle, and now Oscar is out of mana. He has a full wand, I suppose, so he will be able to get out.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
no disable there on the Beastmaster, not able to interrupt that stun, but still overall pretty good for NoPing. Naga Siren surviving that team fight. Initiating on the Bristleback is, I think, one of the main things that cost him that last fight. He is like the least important target at this point. All he's got is Aghanim Scepter, Sange, Eternal Shroud. He's happy if you initiate on him, especially without the Silver Edge. So I'm sure the Zoomers realized the mistakes that they made in that last one, and I don't think the result of this next team fight is going to be any different as long as they take it in a slightly smarter way.
They didn't like
the result
all
will
in
be different
either, right? Like they started the fight on the Bristleback, but then Roar came out onto the Timbersaw, so they never really got one or the other. And as a result, like splitting their targets up, it just did not work. Like you said, where they reset the fight there with the Naga Siren, and at that point, Moo just gets ran down. Getting to the point now where the Naga Siren becomes very scary. Angel on his way to the Butterfly and finds a Spider Legs. That feels real good.
Yeah, you're more than happy to have this one. The Naga Siren, the extra movement speed, being able to go up and down cliffs, she disengage with the Song of the Siren even better. you otherwise would be able to. They're feeling confident enough to leave their base for now. I think one of the major things they're waiting for in 4 Zoomers is his next Roche.
Yeah.
Eternal Envy doesn't feel super confident at this point. In fact, he's not that tanky.
Yeah, I'm a
Only got
little bit
17.
confused in the Mage Slayer on the Slark. I think we talked about that a little bit earlier. It's really good on the Void Spirit, less good on the Slark, but I guess he just wanted a Hood of Defiance this game. Is going back for the Maelstrom into the Mjolnir as a way to help clear up some of these Naga Siren illusions. I feel like it might be too little too late as far as that goes.
I think he needs a little bit more HP to stand his ground in these team fights.
Oh no, Dark Mago top lane. Roar's gonna come out once again. Okay, that hero's gone. He just doesn't exist.
What can you do?
The damage from the Skyarth, man, 1,400 damage coming out from Z-Freak there. The Blink Dagger allowing him to reposition so he's not affected by the actual Bristleback, right?
Equal sprays and whatnot, yeah. Let's see when Roach respawns another 9 seconds here. But these things starting to do their damage here. I guess Eternal Envy's logic with this build he's going on is okay. Husky's going to be providing me an extra 38 strength. He's going to make me more tanky in these team fights by spamming purification on me. But if they separate them, which in all likelihood they can, they've got like a couple of disables here on the side of NoPing. They've got Witcher's Curse as well to reset the fight. They've got Song of the Siren. The Slark can just get blown up with this only 1,700 HP he's got.
Absolutely. We saw in the last fight when he was left alone against the Naga Siren, she just melted him.
Yep. It was made even worse by the fact that, he didn't get that Shadow Dance time because the Song of the Siren came out. It's going to be
50 seconds for Roche, roughly 45 now.
Yep, so half the max time on the Roche respawn, 1 minute and 30 in total. That's not bad.
Oh man, Naga Siren finds an Elven Tunic to match her Butterfly, so even more difficult for the side of the Zoomers to deal with. Envy here, protected by the Silver Edge. He goes in, he finds Panda Boo, trying to keep himself alive if he can get the burst. They do, but a huge Impale comes out, finding both Z-Freak and Husky, the Guardian Angel, protecting him for the moment, but there's still the Song of the Siren to hold them in place, and oh boy, it's looking rough for the Zoomers here. They're able to isolate Husky and Z-Freak. They take down both supports. And a buyback from Panda Boo gives them the team fight that they need to go for this Roshan, but they missed the scouting of it by 1 second.
Oof. All right. Unfortunately, they don't end up getting the Roshan. They will be able to push this tier 2 tower in. They might scout it out a second time if they try to go high ground. They fortify here on Zoomers, but they're playing these fights amazing now on NoPing. Off the back of that one fight where they initiated on the Bristleback on Zoomers, they managed to find their way back into the game. Yeah.
Once Moo kills this wave, that's it. They got fortification. Backdoor protection is going to kick in slowly, and NoPing have no way to continue the push. I mean, we see Zoomers do this every single time. As soon as they notice that a fight breaks down, Gunner and Envy instantly split down to the other lanes. They're like, all right, these are the bad lanes. We need to fix this, and we're good. And they stall it out once again. Roshan is the next objective here for the side of both teams, and NoPing, they're already in the pit.
Yeah. They're going to be able to take this one fairly quickly with the Aghanim Scepter on the Bristleback. 7 stacks of Nasal give Roshan. He's got 2 armor left.
They have Song of the Siren as well if they need it, but they don't. They grab Aegis Shard. I mean, can't imagine you put Shard on the Naga Siren, but you know what? Use the song. Oh, they found Beastmaster and the Skyreth Mage on the back side. He's got to choose who he can save. The blink out, but they managed to grab the Beastmaster move. He's back into the fight. Oscar out of mana. Roar not being dropped. He can't do anything. Husky going to go down as well. 2 for 1. It's going to be a dieback on Panda Boo, but overall, NoPing looking really strong now with this Naga Siren. And Envy, again, just beelining it to the mid wave. He wants to cut this. He's going to go bottom instead.
Dangerous. I mean, Matthew was scouting out these waves and moving alongside this one. I think the moment he saw Envy, he would have tried chasing him down, but your tier 3 tower now under threat of going down. Nobody's going to be able to defend this one. Naga Siren has now reached the point where she feels invincible. That Butterfly, the Elven Tunic making it feel even worse, and they're going on Moo in these team fights. I know the majority of the damage is going to come out from him. Envy isn't able to stand his ground just due to the fact that he's got so little HP.
Yeah, they are going to lose the tier 3 and mid racks. My question is whether or not they just go tier 4s. Like, you can't push these side lanes, can you? Oh, he just backdoored the tower, add no HP. Okay.
Well, there's our answer.
I was like, there's no way this bottom tower dies, but I actually am genuinely confused. I don't know how that tier 2 bottom tower died. And off of that, losing 2 lanes is way worse. They have to do something about this. Gunner takes an impale, but protected by that status resistance. Song of the Siren comes out again from Angel, and the team will just TP out.
TP ends the exact same moment that Song of the Siren does. I mean, they don't end up getting the range tracks, but that one will fall eventually. The wave going to naturally push in now, and backs are against the wall now. They've only got 1 lane to shove in now on NoPing. This game has become so easy for them. Naga Siren has hit critical mass.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've got Aegis for another 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah, more than enough time to shove in this top lane and take a team fight. So now they go for a smoke here on Zoomer. Is kind of desperate at this point. Angel's just going to walk right into them.
They find Dark Mago, gets the break, but Forstaff will pull him back. And Angel on the backside is just getting shredded by Gunner, as well as these Beastmasters. Moo knows he cannot be the one in the front of these fights. He has to just be hanging out in the back, throwing out so much damage. And Envy, he's building these stacks. The Guardian Angel protecting him. Bristleback up to the high ground. Angel gonna lose the Aegis, but Husky's just gonna die. Reflected roar there. Envy, he's got to get out. I don't think he can stick around much longer, and now they finally get on top of Moo. Husky buys back into the game, trying to do what he can. Gunner on the backside, able to take down another hero, claim a gem for himself, but Moo in the danger zone. Is Dark Mago able to keep chasing him down? He's got to connect with these axes. They've got to get these kills, but Gunner gets the slow. Dark Mago continuing to kite this out. Envy trying to get on top of him, gets the break, able to help finish him off. Now it's looking really good for the Zoomers. You got to get out of here on the side of NoPing. There's another song, and the TPs will make a safe retreat there for the remaining members.
The big thing that changed in that team fight was the fact that they managed to kite out that Naga Siren. At the beginning of the team fight, they did a lot of damage to her, kept her at fairly low HP, so she was hesitant to commit onto any targets. The moment she could get onto someone, she tried to go on Moo, who had already built up this E-Blade. He just ends up popping that on himself as soon as the net comes out onto him. Because of this Kai Assange as well, the net ends by the time he's out of this Ethereal Blade. So I honestly think it's just Moo carrying them in these team fights. He's been playing so amazing in this game.
Oh, there's a Spell Prism.
Yeah, you love to see it. Not sure if he's going to hang on to that. I mean, usually you pass.
It's going to be on the Void Spirit.
Yeah,
100%.
You want to pass the cooldown reduction over to the Void Spirit, so to make his game a little bit easier. But yeah, in these team fights, it's definitely Moo winning them for him. I mean, the E-Blade pickup was very smart. Which Bane is now, but they leave it on the ground. The Courier, I think, is going to pick it up. Yep, it does.
An AoE Dispel, that's a purge. Now, does it deal extra damage to illusions?
I don't believe so.
Fear not,
All right,
heresy.
Envy's going to bottle up a DD rune here. I mean, we saw this last fight. It's all Moo here that's pumping out the damage, that's killing off this Naga Siren, and he did close to like over 8,000 damage. And he now has a Timeless Relic, which is just even funnier. They go ahead and grab the cap. Now, I don't know if anyone wants this. 300 health, 10 HP regen. When a debuff is applied, grants 50% status resistance for 3 seconds. I mean, it's pretty sick with having an Omni on your team, but I think Omni having Blast Rig might be a little bit more of a survivable item for him.
Yep. Okay. See, now Moo ends up picking up the BKB as well. Naga Siren doesn't have herself a net yet. Angel started working on this nullifier to deal with the Ethereal Blade, but he's already got a solution here on Moo. He's just gonna walk away from him. You're gonna wish that you had the
Ags at some point.
The eggs instead of this nullifier. This is so sick. Moo's such a gamer, man.
He is a gamer, indeed. Trickster Cloak, probably going to be going the way of Angel. Yeah, I was like, it's just more evasion for him, right?
Top tower is
Yeah.
under attack.
We'll see. Well, I guess he's going to
gamer.
keep it on Dark Mago. They don't know who wants it. It's a good item either way. Oscar is currently holding on to the cap. That status resistance for the Timbersaw is quite nice. Envy?
And we put himself on the high ground. Classic NA trick.
I mean, he has to just instantly ult. He's just stuck and jumps down to the low ground. Gunnar on the backside trying to do what he can, making space, but this fight's a disaster. They're just chasing down Mu. He gets the E-Blade out. He's got a BKB. If he can use it, he will. Then comes the Guardian Angel. Now rejoining the fight here on the Slark. Oscar falling incredibly low. Can Mu finish him off? He does. One last set of axes. It was all a bait, Nev. The high ground bait from the NA Dota. It's something we'll never understand, but it's a classic for sure. Envy up by a net, losing a lot of mana here. Gunnar going into the pit, does find Angel, but he's out of mana himself. Song of the Sun. Oh, this is a time. They could re-engage. Nope, another TP out here from the side of NoPing. They don't want to risk it. They see the DD on the Slark.
Yeah. Still got it for a couple seconds, and we're going to move back in the base. But the Timbersaw is going to be up by the time you manage to take another fight. And yeah, did manage to push in, or every time you take these engagements, the lanes push in naturally to the fact that you've lost these Raxes. I think NoPing are taking these in a really smart way. They've struggled to get this tier 2 yet in the top lane. Until they grab that one, I don't think their game is that secured. So Zoomer's suddenly feeling a little bit stronger. This goes bench later, though. I think they'll have a little bit easier time. These BKB charges on Basemaster will wear down, and Naga Siren will start to get 8 slotted. Now working on that Abyssal Blade.
I like the Abyssal Blade here. Oh, no, gonna go back for the Nullifier. I was gonna say, I like it over the Nullifier, but Angel wants this Nullifier completed. It's really strong, but we'll see how it ends up going here. If he's able to stick on top of these targets, or if they're just gonna be able to kite them out. Like you said, the Guardian Angel, a big part of the team fight here from the side of Zoomers as well.
Yep. All right, Aghanim Scepter now completed on Z-Freak. That one's being flown out to him right now.
There's a lot of damage. Definitely the largest page of notes for Aghanim Scepter heroes. Covers the entire screen, top to bottom.
Yeah.
So funny.
Hero Shard upgrade. For some reason, it's glitched out, and the Aghanim Scepter also has the Hero Shard upgrade on it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Literally unplayable game.
Yeah, what is this? Still in beta, though. It's a small indie company. Please calm down, sir.
Yeah. They're smoked up here. They're gonna wrap around. I mean, if you run into the Naga Siren, I think that's worst case scenario. I don't think you have the damage to blow him up.
Ooh, they saw Husky for a moment. He does get the ward down. Nice blink response, but Bristleback maybe came in a little bit too far. Needs to be careful. Envy misses the pounce, though. Gunnar trying to do what he can. Moo's already forced his BKB. He's got to get out. He can't afford to be the one that they jump here. And they will hit him with the net. Husky with the save. They do have Guardian Angel with the Nullifier. Is there Oscar starting to fall low? The spam is doing so much work. They take down the Nyx. Gunnar finding that one. And they're out. They're looking for more. The rest of the team didn't leave. Not in time. They find the Winter Wyvern.
He does have buyback available. Did you see the beginning of that team fight, by the way?
Which part was the beginning?
The Lotus Orb on what was it? Oscar? Oh, no, it was on
Dark Mago.
Yeah. He Lotus Orbed himself up, and because of the interaction between the Ancient Seal and the Aghanim Scepter, the Void Spirit actually got Ancient Seal at the beginning of that team fight.
Oh, that's really
funny.
funny.
Multiple heroes.
Yeah, because he has the Ags.
So Gunnar didn't get to do anything because for some reason it counts as having eggs on whatever hero cast the spell. So it was an Eggs Mystic Flare or Eggs Arcane Seal that went off onto the Void Spirit as well. I was confused for a fraction of a second of how the hell this guy got a Arcane Seal on himself, because Gunnar just didn't get the initiation off because of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got an Ags, right, on Bristleback, so it makes sense.
Yeah. The fight would have gone a lot more in favor of 4 Zoomers there had he not been Arcane Sealed for a couple of seconds.
Ooh. Envy actually walked into the outpost. Otherwise, he would have been able to scout the Naga Siren there, so they knew better. Envy now level 25 has that Shadow Dance duration instead of the Essence Shift duration. I'm a little bit surprised of that. You do not see that often.
No. I guess just wants more time in Vulnerable. Again, he doesn't have a ton of HP on this Slark. A lot of the time they're just when they can, they're resetting the fight with the Naga Siren ultimate when they see either the Guardian Angel or the Shadow Dance come out.
Envy might be in trouble. They turn around. The disarm not going to last all that long. On the backside of the fight, the E-Blade trying to save the Void Spirit, but he's just going to disengage. The Roar onto the Naga, the Force Staff saving her from the Mystic Flare, but she still gets bursted. A huge winner's curse here, stealing so many stats from a Gunner, but Envy takes it as a donation from his carry. He's going to continue the chase here. Moo finds Panda Boo.
Now gonna have to start to shove in these lanes. They are pushed in the mid lane and
They found Dark
bottom
Mago.
top.
They got him the top lane. All the lockdown that they need is there, and Envy able to take down now the 4th hero. There are 3 buybacks available here for NoPing, but it is going to be so difficult if you are forced to use those.
They don't want to. I mean, these Dark Mago illusions just trying to stall for time, cutting the creep wave with these ones. I think that they won't have to on Naga Siren. I'm not sure. It'll take about 20 seconds for the creeps to push in the base from where they are in the mid lane. At that point, actually, you don't have a Fortify. You might just be forced to buy back on Naga. Actually, no, you've got everybody else. If you buy back on Dark Mago, you won't be forced to buy back on the Naga Siren. It's fine. But yeah, what are the major things stopping NoPing from just ending this game? I think that at this point, they realize that they're not really able to take the team fights anymore. Instead, they're going to want to play Rat Dota and just clear out the racks and get themselves mega creeps as they don't have amazing clear to deal with that. Lock these 4 Zoomer heroes inside their base, but the tier 2 stopping them from that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so wild that 4 Zoomers has been down 2 racks for like 15 minutes, and this is the state of the game. Bristleback top lane gets caught by the Roar of the Force Staff. It's going to save him for a moment, but the damage isn't there. Dark Mago makes it out. Moo trying to snipe on the backside. In comes Gunner looking for more, but just getting bursted. He's got to disengage, losing so much HP. Going to make it out. A nice attempt there from the Zoomers, but they don't get the kill that they want, and they will have to leave.
4 Zoomers could have lost the game off of that. Gunner didn't have buyback because he dove for that Bristleback. NoPing also could have lost if they lost the Bristleback there, though. That was a very scary play.
High risk, high reward, indeed.
Yeah, Gunner trying to clutch that one out.
Envy has managed to find a DD rune, and anyone walking out of this base is going to be a little bit scared when they find him.
Yeah. Filling up his outpost, taking complete map control. Your goal is the top lane, though.
Up here.
Yeah, he shouldn't be.
You have the bonus night vision on Envy, so he, you know, he definitely has the advantage in this at this point right now.
Matthew's trying to get people to focus up. He's pinging out this top tier 2 tower. He knows how important this one is. Once they don't have backdoor protection anymore, you let these lanes shove in naturally. You throw like Naga Siren illusions to the tower. You whittle away at them if you can't win these team fights. I mean, if Omnia ends up getting himself an Aghanim Scepter, it becomes a little bit more difficult to play that style of Rat Dota. But yeah, they don't want to have to try to take this against the 4 Zoomer heroes. Instead, they run to the tier 2 while they let Envy clean up the tier 3. I think you can give up 1 Rax for 1 Rax. Like, this is your ideal scenario for NoPing.
I mean, the problem is, I think if 4 Zoomers make it into the base, like, if they're not here on all 5 on NoPing, they will just dive someone is the thing. Like, I think they can just guarantee a kill. But yeah, losing that tier 2 top is a huge issue, and the Naga Siren gets it.
Very nice. This is pretty important.
Envy finishing off the tier 3. He's out of mana. A little fire for the moment, but we'll just Silver Edge out. They actually see the Gunner TP, and now as a result, Husky, he's just dead. I don't know what he can do to get out of here. Not at all. They lose the gem for that one.
Yep. I mean, on one hand, Gunner knows how important this tier 3 tower is in the top lane. Somebody rotates up there to try and grab that one. He needs to be there for the punish. They do still have Fortify available, so they sack the Omni Knight. I think he died. That was a dieback he bought back ages ago, right?
Yeah, but likely off cooldown now for him again. Actually smoked up here Moo and Z-Freak underneath this ward, just waiting for one hero to walk forward. It's going to be Angel, though. Question is,
he's got a BKB on Angel, so he's fine.
Oh, Moo tried to blink up and go for a roar play onto Pandaboo, but hit the low ground by mistake. Other side of the fight, though, Oscar comes in. The Timber Saw is dead! Instantly to the burst damage here of Z-Freak, and now Envy putting the hurt in here to Dark Mago, stealing a lot of Essence Shift, and If they can keep this fight going, they're looking really good. Angel hasn't committed the Song of the Siren. Gunner able to take down Pandaboo, and again, Dark Mago just being held down. Angel's gotta save him. The song that comes out into a BKB TP, he's gonna make it out no problem.
Trying to stall for time after they lost those heroes, keep them in place as long as possible. But now everyone other than the Naga Siren is struggling to take these fights into Zoomers.
Yeah, this
So again.
this big yelly boy is becoming
The
very
yelly boy.
he's very angry. He yells a lot at people, and he is just absolutely murdering the side of NoPing. I mean, this E-Blade pickup, we thought, you know, maybe it's to amp Moo's damage, but no. It's for Z-Freak's damage.
Yeah, Muno Z-Freak's the real carry here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. He has the Arcane Blink finished up, so even more axe spam coming out. Reduced cooldown on the Roar if he does manage to find that as well. So this is a really big pickup for him.
Bottom lane, these heroes smoke depth. They don't feel confident to take these proper fights against 4 Zoomers. They've been dwindling their net worth here for a pretty long time now. Win probability being 80% for the Dire. I mean, if you look at XP and net worth, it just, you know, dipping down ever since
That there was like that one engagement that gave NoPing, you know, Roche, and after that it's just been going back the way of the Zoomers. It's just this late game burst damage coming out from these two heroes, plus the Slark. I mean, they struggle so much to kill Envy. He's 3-1 and 14, and Gunner is just always targeting Pandaboo every single fight.
Yeah, I don't even think it's the Slark that's been like a super big problem in this game. I really think it's been Moo.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely Moo's doing all the damage. Slark just gives a lot of control to the Bristleback, right? Once Slark's on top of him, Bristleback cannot get away.
Yep. And you're reducing the damage as well with that Mage Slayer. It's hit and miss for sure. But
Well, Roshan number 4. That's going to be a free Ags if they want to go for it. Honestly, I'm curious who they give it to, because you could give it to Gunner for the second Resonant Pulse. Otherwise, you give it to Envy for the second Pounce. I mean, like there's all 3 of the Aghanim that remain are very good. Okay, they are going to give it to Gunner.
Yeah, he's 6 slotted now, or 7 slotted.
Yeah, bots 2. As a very farmed Void Spirit on his way to a Daedalus. I know that's not how it's pronounced now.
Daedalus, oh, absolutely disgusting. Get a load of this guy.
I like unironically hear it pronounced that way every once in a while, and I'm like, what? What did you just say?
From whomst?
Just pubs, man.
Yeah, I'm working on my Daedalus. That's when you know you have to be concerned about your carry. When they call it a Daedalus.
Like, sure, well, I'm gonna retech my build here real quick.
Looks like I'm carrying, I guess.
The scan comes out. Oh, they actually find Nyx Assassin, and they're looking for him. Z-Freaky gets him, finds the silence right on the money.
Loses the gem as well.
Yeah.
Guess he's gonna pick that one up.
That was a really, really fast scan reaction. I mean, they scan and then 3 blinks right on over, just spamming silence, all their spells to try and find this Nyx, and taking him off, getting that gem as well is really important.
Yep. I don't know what your next move here is on NoPing. I mean, they're doing a very good job of keeping heroes away from the area of the map nearby that tier 3. They know that if they manage to grab Mega Creeps here on the side of NoPing, they just lose the game. They were not going to be able to keep these waves shoved in.
Well, I mean, Envy just going to be protected by the Heavenly Grace, which has a 90% uptime now, I think. Pretty sure it's something like that. He's just gonna continue to work on the barracks, and yes, I mean, they're doing what damage they can, but the Slark, I don't think really cares all that much. Gunner's just gonna get up on the backside, see who he can fight. He gets the 2-second stun there onto the Naga. The Roar comes out. Angel is dead.
Does have buyback available. Maybe they're trying to bait them out to dive the base here, make them think that Angel can't come back into this game. It might fall for it here on Zoomers.
He's got an Aegis on Moo. I don't think he cares. I think he's the one that's baiting. He's hoping they chase him out. And Gunner jumps in further onto the backside. He finds the Winter Wyvern, the one hero you can't afford to lose right now. He's going to be able to buy back right away. Moo's Aegis gets claimed. The Naga Siren back into the fight. They could try and reinitiate with the Song of the Siren, but Envy, he's an objective gamer. He just took the mid lane.
And he's going to get out of this one. They don't have vision.
He's not backing. He
knows
goes
they
back
can't see
in.
him.
He finds Dark Mago on the bristle here. The break comes through. In comes Gunner on the backside. Finds the Nyx. Not going to connect with those stuns. Caught for the moment, but he's still pretty tanky. Gunner, he's got to get out. He's dead. He's overcommitted. A great play there by Matthew on the Nyx, turning that one around, and now Husky might be in trouble, but it's just Moo on this Beastmaster. The buyback, the bots too, he's back into the fight. Gunner decides to go sniping on the backside, go for the distant stun, holds down two more heroes, able to Timber Chain away the Song of the Siren from Angel, getting everyone out on a sliver, but Gunner is not done. And Pandaboo will blink to safety, getting themselves another buyback.
They can somehow get a kill off on a Gunner. They could be able to turn this game around, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. 45k net worth advantage here. That team fight, an absolute disaster for NoPing as they come back into that team fight on Zoomers. I mean, the Gunner's just looking to close this game out. He's been playing absolutely insane here. What does he got flying out at the moment? Okay, he ends up picking up, in your words, a Daedalus on the Void Spirit.
I mean, we knew he was going to go to the Daedalus. He sells the Witchblade for this one, gets the Daedalus, has Lincoln Sphere, a great way to counter out these nullifiers. I mean, this is a really, really, really solid performance here from the side of the Zoomers. I mean, they are looking super clean here.
Your backs are against the wall. This is starting to feel pretty rough for NoPing. I thought that there's no way NoPing loses this into the ultra late game, but now Gunner scaled so well. Moo is doing disgusting things on this Beastmaster I never thought possible.
That and in Z-Freak, I mean, his burst damage is just destroying these heroes. One thing people didn't consider too much, the Mystic Flare duration reduced by 0.2 seconds, but 1600 damage in that time frame is a lot of damage in that 0.2 seconds. And now, once he gets that level 25, the additional Mystic Flare damage is just going to make it that much more impactful. So
Husky as well. I mean, he's got his blink day. He's staying as far back out of these fights as possible. And now trapped in the base. I think right now, for what four Zoomers are looking to do is just keep them inside, get these tier 5 neutral items, and close out the game with that last advantage that they have.
yeah, I mean, they've evened out the Raxes, right? So lanes are pretty much even for both sides, and with Zoomers being able to control this map so heavily, Husky has just firmly planted himself inside this triangle with vision. And like you said, once they get these 60-minute items, it's going to be a huge advantage for the side of the Zoomers. And I'm hoping we get to see some of the new ones, honestly.
Yeah.
Arcanus armor is just... that thing sounds absurd. Thing just sounds so good.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm sitting here like trying to do the math in my head how NoPing closed this one out. They tried to initiate on a move. I mean, even that, it wasn't going to do it for them. I mean, Husky's just sitting there. He's going to be able to blink in, drop the Heavenly Grace on him. I mean, he's got the Witchbane.
Oh, he found Oscar. The bash comes in from Envy. The Abyssal Blade as well. Force Staff for the moment. Pandaboo has to leave right away. The damage is starting here for the side of the Zoomers, but you gotta be careful here. Slark, you don't want to get kited out. Z-Freak on the backside gets found, but Moo comes in with the roar. They find the next assassin. He's gone. 100 seconds without the buyback. Husky gets the GIF in time. This Winter's Curse will turn it around, and it's gonna be Gunner sniping hero to hero. Husky, the next one to follow. The buybacks coming through, though. Moo ready to rejoin the fight. Envy, he finds Pandaboo. Another dieback for the side of NoPing. And Dark Mago, Angel, they've got to get out of here. If they find him, the Remnant not in time.
Barely managed to get out, but I don't know how they take this fight. 4v3, these Nyx Assassin and the Winter Wyvern both so crucial to taking these team fights. I think they could just run out the barracks here on Eternal Envy. He's got 26 stacks of Vessel Shift right now.
I mean, why wouldn't you wait the 50 seconds, right? I mean, I guess you just got to push in top wave, but I imagine you hold out for tier 5s.
Why bother? You know that they've diebacked right now. Eternal Envy, he wants to go for this. He Shadow Blades up, and he's going to start hitting this tier 3.
Yeah.
They're not waiting.
He's got a Husky behind him, ready to go. The Roar comes out onto the Bristleback. The damage, it's coming through. They're just laying in. The Envy Slark is just too strong at this point, as they will take down Dark Mago. He's going to fly back into the game. Backside of the fight, Angel trying to do what he can. He gets bashed. He does get the Side of the Siren off. He's got to get out. Uses that BKB to disengage. There's going to be the Silver Edge. He's out. Gunner as well will duke out of this fight. And I mean, a lot expended here on the side of both teams, but Envy can just continue fighting. He's got that Shadow Dance available. The disarm is holding him down. There's going to be the song. They need to get Dark Mago out. He cannot afford to go down. And we've hit the 60-minute timing here, neph, and into the jungle for Zoomers go. As Gunner wants to pick up a couple of these items ASAP. Oh boy. Well, there's an Apex and a Pirate Hat. Okay, these are looking quite good.
Yeah, you probably want to pass the Pirate Hat to Eternal Envy. He's holding onto the Apex right now. 75 damage.
Dark Mago's going to regret this. He came out of the base too greedy for these items. Now a beautiful impale there from Matthew, able to keep him alive.
Oscar saw that 2-man impale and just dove out of the base looking to take the kill. Oh boy.
That's a Seer Stone.
Ooh. All right. This is a rough situation now. I'm not sure if he... Yeah, Z-Freak is just going to hold on to that one.
Yeah,
it's flying out to him right now. That is a lot of damage coming out from the Skywrath Mage.
I mean, you just never get on top of the Skywrath now is the thing. He can just cast spells from so far. There's the Arcanus armor. Okay, I'm curious who they put this on. I feel like it has to be Husky, but he's holding on to the Witchbane. Yeah, he's going to take the Arcanus armor. This thing is so... Oh, no, they're holding on Moo. Okay. AoE damage reflect for your whole team, plus 20% magic resistance.
Mega Shield. They couldn't come up with a better name than that.
It is pretty mega, though. All right, Aghanim Scepter now for Husky. 60k gold advantage. NoPing still trying to find these tier 5 items, but the Ancients have all been farmed from the side of the Zoomers, and they can't find their way into this fight. Envy here knows they don't have vision. Oh, not gonna find the right Naga Siren.
This is such a risky move by NoPing, walking up here onto the high ground. Seer Stones gets it out.
They do. They know exactly where they are. Man, that's such a cool active. I love that ability. Top lane, Dark Mago forced to BKB. Envy trying to get the Abyssal Blade off. Does connect. Does have that Dark Pack. Shadow Dance is still available. He just dropped the Depth Shroud instead. Envy just gonna heal himself up and walk away. Oh, is Envy? You don't have an Aegis. You gotta be a little bit more careful than this. Gunner on the backside, try to do what he can. Doesn't connect though.
Yep. They'll be able to stall for 60 seconds here. Envy's not gonna want to go back in while his Dark or Shadow Dances and Depth Shroud is on cooldown, so they'll buy themselves a little bit more time, but all they do is buy themselves more time for Zoomers to increase his net worth lead and get themselves another tier 5 neutral item.
I mean, Force Boots is super sick. This item is amazing because now, as a result, Moot's like, all right, I don't need boots. Cool, I'll buy a scythe. Just instantly sells his bots and buys a scythe.
Look at what they're doing, though. They hold the triangle and they put Envy down here, and they've got the Observer Ward up on this hill. So they know the moment anyone tries to grab tier 5 neutral items, go farm up that jungle, they're going to be able to clean them up if they leave the base by themselves.
I am also a little bit as confused as you as to why the Slark is holding onto the Apex instead of the Pirate Hat. It's literally half the attack speed. But
I guess as good as mine.
I guess it's better than just putting a ton of mana on the Void Spirit. All right, Envy into the tier 3, or rather the last lane of Barracks here in the top lane.
I mean, it does increase Void Spirit's damage output when he's just whacking away at heroes by quite a bit.
There's a mega shield that we're seeing. A very cool animation. And they are out. They get the... Oh! Gunner goes in. He stuns up multiple heroes, and now Sark tanks an Impale. He's out of mana completely thanks to this Nyx. He's going to buy back into the game right away. Angel forces that Song of the Siren. I mean, Envy's definitely the target if they can get him. The question is, will they be able to? The Lincoln Spheres making Pandaboo's game so miserable, holding Bullet Spirit down. For the meantime, the Guardian Angel comes out. There's gonna be the Nullifier. Envy just wailing away at them on the backside of the fight, and Gunner, he's able to just disengage. He finds Matthew. Moo takes down Pandaboo, buys back. Nick's Assassin's gonna be a dieback as well. Angel trying to disengage. Slark laying into this Timbersaw, the Nullifier not letting him get out, and oh, Envy's happy. More Essence shifts going his way as they finally take him down. The backside of the fight, it's going to be Dark Mago. There is no chance. 3 diebacks, about to be a 4th, and Zoomers running over NoPing here to close it out with a 5-man wipe.
And that's it. 65-minute game, back and forth, managing to come back from 2 fractures. This is just the first game of the day on the grand finals. Are you not entertained, Ricky?
Dude, this is everything I wanted today. Oh my lord, I am excited for today's Dota.
But North America, imagine the census went out looking a lot better than we did in the close qualifiers. That game took me for a hell of a ride. Definitely just stopping in the start of that game on the side of 4 Zoomers, and NoPing managed to bring it back for a little while once Naga Siren came online, but the 4 Zoomers, they just itemized too well. Moo did so good this game, ended up going the Agnum Scepter instead of the Helm of the Overlord build. Resisted that temptation. I mean, that's what a lot of people would do after this most recent update. Went for the Ethereal Blade as well. All in on that Wild Axe's damage. I mean, he definitely carried his team this game, I feel. Gunner had an outstanding performance as well. Played with absolutely no fear, jumping into these team fights. Playing the front liner without a BKB must have been pretty scary. I did have a Husky behind him on that Omninet. I feel like the team coordination here on 4 Zoomers was pretty incredible for a team that's recently formed.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing they do have is like a couple of these heroes have played on previous teams together, right? So it's really just the meshing of 2 different squads coming together. And it's working out really well for them as they take, game 1 here over NoPing. I mean, like you said, this to me, it was definitely a team performance from Zoomers. There's an outstanding performance on multiple players, but it definitely would not have happened had they not all pulled their weight here. And this was just a pleasure to watch. I mean, 65-minute game to start it off. What more can you ask for? Super excited for today's series again. We're just getting started, everyone, so buckle up. We're in for a long one as we've got so much more Dota ahead. This is the semifinals. We have a best of 5 grand finals after this. The winner is going to move on to play Undying. So yeah, I'm stoked. This is going to be great. We'll see you all after a break. We're going to be right back with more action here on the Loopet Pro Series Season 7. Stay tuned.